Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're back with the tier list. This is the tier list for May, with the new champs being both Moondragon and Adam Warlock. So we'll start off our tier list a bit differently today. We're going to go through the emojis, then we're going to go to Adam Warlock, then we're going to go to Moondragon, and then we'll go through class by class. There's not too many champs to be talking about here. But, you know, I want to continuously keep uploading this tier list for you guys, just in case you're new to MCOC and you want to see sort of who should I be ranking up, where should I put my rank for materials, and then further on, what 7-star should I rank up? Should I rank this champ up if I've just pulled them? My number one advice so far, whatever 7-star champ you get, if you've only opened 1 or 2, upgrade them 100%. Take them to the max. If you can take them to max rank 2, then obviously do so. Or maybe if you have got enough for rank 2s, then hold off and wait for sort of the champs like Overseer and other champs like that, where they are the best champs of the 7-stars, because obviously taking a 7-star to rank 2 is a little bit more tricky. So let's just jump in and talk about Adam Warlock and Moondragon. So the first champ is Adam Warlock. I've put him in the pushing the boundary tier. For me at the minute, I think he looks like a really nice champ. He looks quite usable, relatively easy to play. A few nice abilities. Going into the pod is something we've never seen before. That little regen and basically going indestructible is really nice. He can do some massive damage at the right rotation. If you want to see how to play him, then you should head over to Karate Mike's channel and check out his new sort of rotation and utility guide, just to sort of see what Adam Warlock is offering, how he's played. If you've just pulled one from the pre-release bundles or anything like that, then yeah, he definitely looks like a really fun champ. I haven't obviously yet to play with him. I really cannot wait to play with him. He's one of my it's one of the champs I looked forward to the most, and is also a champion that I think has some really nice potential, especially in the MCOC with the new Guardians of the Galaxy film. I thought he looked really interesting in that. So Adam Warlock starts at pushing the boundary, but I definitely think he's got the chance to be in the top 5. It's just about once we see how the community plays him, how he compares to, say, a Null, a Hulkling, a CGR. And then next we've got Moondragon. Moondragon's a little bit more tricky. The immunity to reverse controls is really nice. The fact that she has I can't think what the sort of build up of her thing is, whether it's a meditation or anything like that, is really cool. Her rotation is really nice, and the thing about being able to do big yellow numbers is something that we all look for. It looks very interesting to play with. She is someone who I don't know as much about. I've got her in the same tier here, the pushing the boundary tier, as Adam Warlock. I do think there's the chance, like Mantis, to start in this tier and drop back. I don't think she'll be a top 5 champ in the skill class. I think it's just a bit too strong. But she still looks quite interesting, and again is someone in June's tier list who I'll come back and speak a bit more about and say, you know, I've seen her rotation, I've seen her utility, what can she do, what's she able. But at the minute, she's in the pushing the boundary just as because she's a bit newer, and still has some really nice abilities in there, abilities that are different to some of the other skilled champs, like the immunity to reverse controls, which is becoming more and more needed. So yeah, she comes in the pushing the boundary. So that does it for the first 2 new champs. Let's jump into the cosmic class and talk about the champs. So the yellow obviously means that they've been moved. In the next tier list, I'm thinking of doing sort of different colors. So if they've gone up, they get one color. If they go down, they get, say, red, or a color that's sort of similar to red, just to show where, rather than just being all orange. Before we jump into what these champs do, I do want to speak a bit more about the emojis, because we had some comments from some viewers on the last tier list, the April tier list, talking about some of the emojis. Basically, what do they mean? What is their relevance? So I did want to speak a little bit more about that. And so Power of Spiral said he enjoyed the tier list, but there were a few champs who maybe needed the brick emoji to show that they're a good defender, and so on and so on. So he used Gallon as an example. So we'll talk about Gallon now, just to further explain these. Nothing to do with Power Spy. I really appreciate the comment and the support. It was just more to let you guys know. So on some of the champs, I've got a brick emoji who I think are more defensive based champs than they are attackers. So somebody like Gallon, like Hulkling, like Bishop is a very good example. They're three very good defenders, but they're also three very good attackers. So they tend, in my brain, to be more of a dual threat. They don't quite have the amazing defender brick emoji, but they also don't have the swords to say that they're only attackers. They are more well-rounded dual threat. So maybe if you guys let me know, would you rather see the brick and the swords to show that they're both, or would you rather have a dual threat emoji, or would you just prefer to leave it as it is, so that when you see champs who are a bear, who are higher up, you think, okay, I know they're good at both. Do let me know about that in the comments. Obviously, we've got the awakening needed. It's just the singular star. High sig is the 2 stars, and we also have a new emoji, which is this shooting star emoji. It's basically to show these champs are now 7 stars. Just to have that on the tier list. So let's jump into the cosmic class. What we're talking about. So I recently watched Legacy's video, and he was talking about the difference between Venom Pool and Venom. So I went through the comments and sort of saw what, just to look at and speak and to see, just to communicate with some of the guys in there about who's better and why. So Venom is very, very good. He gets a lot of buffs. He's very good for the short fights. Those bleeds do a lot of damage. However, Venom Pool is becoming more and more relevant recently, and the reason for that is he's good with the longer fights. So he doesn't take too long to build up, but once you have built him up, he takes out the higher health pools much, much faster with the build up of sort of his cooking meter, the different buffs that he gains. So I think now we're leaning towards more 7 stars. 300k is now the sort of base health pool for the higher content. I do think that Venom Pool over Venom is just a little bit better, which is why I've upgraded him. However, Venom could go up. He is a 7 star now, a very good 7 star. So there may be some of you guys who pulled a 7 star Venom and think he's very, very useful. And if you have, then do let me know about that in the comments down below. And then again, for like the 4th tier list in a row, we've got Arcus in orange, just to say that he's been downgraded for Adam Warlock, which I think is quite a fair view. Then we've got Silver Surfer. He's not gone anywhere, but he is someone I want to talk about. I've pulled him as a 7 star. He probably does need to be sigged, but playing with him more and more, I don't know if it's quite the power of the 7 stars or if it's the power of maybe Silver Surfer, but he tends to do quite big damage if you build up all his buffs. Then him being a miss counter is also something that's very underrated with him. So I just wanted to sort of point out that he's a great champ. He's not just a prestige champ, he has more to offer than that, and there will be a how to use Silver Surfer video coming very, very soon on this channel. So that does it for the Cosmic class. As I mentioned, not many ups and downs for this class, even less in the class below it, but it's more just to keep you guys updated. So let's now jump into the Mutant class. The Mutant class is one that's been very stable. The first 3 of the tiers have not moved. They've been quite consistent. There's not been anyone coming in recently. We haven't had a Mutant champ really since, I think was the last Mutant champ Sauron and Toad, or have we had one after that? I'm not 100%, but not many champs there who have come in recently. So it's more about where have old champs sort of got better or become more popular. Weapon X is in there, just a very annoying defender. Thought with his Unstoppables, if you've not got a slow champ or a champ who can sort of nullify that, then he is very, very annoying. So I just wanted to point that out. Iceman with a recent buff, I wanted to ask you guys, do you think he should be going up to the definitely upgrade tier, or do you think he's still more of a champ who's within the boundaries of a Wolverine, a Cable, a Stormer, and a Sauron? Do definitely let me know that in the comments below. I really want to hear about his buff. I've not seen too much with him, and I've definitely not played him yet, but I do think he's a champ who could go up and down. He does rise in this tier list today. He goes up, and Gambit comes down. Jubilee also comes up as well. So Gambit and Jubilee have both become sort of forgotten mutant champs in my mind. I think Jubilee has a nice build-up and can do some really, really nice energy damage. Someone who's potentially a little bit underrated. She could do probably with the sword emoji, just to show that she's more of an attacker than a defender. And then Gambit, if you watch Metal Sonic Doom's recent video of Gambit taking down the Mantis boss, he just gets to his, you hold the block, you charge up your build-up, takes 15 seconds, if that. You hit it with an SB2. If it crits, it does about 300k damage. So he's someone to definitely look for as a 7-star. Even being the worst 7-star, in my opinion, he still has a lot to offer. And then Mr. Sinister's there just because I've put the brick emoji on him to show that he is a good defender. And those crits, if you don't have a Warlock or somebody with a heal block, he is very, very annoying to take on. But that also does it for the Mutant class. The Mystic class, as you guys can see, is a no-changer. No one has come into the Mystic class recently who, or within the sort of last month, who I think could go up or down. I think we're at a point now where it's very consistent. If you guys take a look at the Mystic class, do you think I've missed anyone out? Do you think anyone could go anywhere? There's a lot of talk of Hood being a great champ, and I think he has sort of settled into the top 5 very, very nicely. The same with Absorbing Man. There are a few champs in here who are 7-stars. Sasquatch, American Chavez, who I think are... American Chavez definitely could go up, but the champs above her may be a little bit more consistent, or at least well-known. But I do think she has the opportunity to go up and sort of show how good she is. If you've pulled her as a 7-star, I do want to hear that down below, and also how you find playing her. But as I said, we're quite... we've got quite a lot of stability in the Mystic class where we know where everyone's going to fit, and that's sort of where we're at with that class. In the Science class, this one's a bit more competitive, a bit more tricky to judge. Sandman has lost his, he sort of lost his orange colour just because he was obviously came in last month. I think he looks like a good champ. The Decelerate will become more and more popular as we go on, but I do think as of right now, it's not mega important. So he remains in a pushing the boundary tier. Don't think he quite pushes the top 5 before, say, a Spot or a I-Bomb. And then Cassie Lang is another one. She's got the brick emoji, but that should probably be taken off, so that's my bad. I just think that she is more... she's a very good attacker. She's one I've not really seen too much of as well. She's a champ who, in my opinion, is... maybe needs more people to start playing with her. Definitely this 6-star featured is really going to help because she needs to become more well known. We need to see how she's played, what sort of counters she has, what fights she really prospers in. But as of right now, I don't know too much about her. I haven't used her too much, so I can't really give a fair assessment of her until I've played her or seen more of you guys playing her. But should she be in the top 5? Should she take over Spidey 2099 spot? Do let me know in the comments down below. And then OG Spider-Man is now a 7-star. He also got a buff. The buff looks really, really nice. We sort of talked about him a little bit, I believe, in the last video. But if we didn't, I want to speak a bit more about him now. His SP1, his webbing is far easier to keep up than it previously ever was. He looks like a champion who will have a lot of use going forwards. I would say he's not so much an attacker or a defender, whereas he can do a little bit of both. But he still remains in this worth upgrading tier. I don't think he's better than any of the champs above him. Maybe it was a little bit of a lackluster buff, which was a bit of a shame, but still someone you can definitely use. And if you get as a 7-star, it's worth ranking up. So that's the Science class. 2 more classes to go. We've got the Skill and the Tech. These are a few more champs to talk about. Obviously, we've got Moondragon, we've already spoken. These 3 champs here. Black Panther OG has swapped with Stealth Spidey. He's now gone into the definitely upgrade, whereas Stealth Spidey's now in the God tier. Stealth Spidey very good champ, has the slow, has a lot of different unique abilities. But I've put Black Panther OG up. I recently ranked him up to rank 2. His crits are really, really cool. The build-up is very easy. You hit him, the defender 15 times. You throw an SP1, you throw an SP2, and you do 20 to 25k crit damage as a 6-star rank 2. So you can only imagine him if he becomes a 7-star or if you have him as a rank 5. So, and he's also very, very useful for the EQ and side Q events, as well as some of the quests where they ask for 6-star champions skill champs who put bleeds on and then gain cruelties or furies and then do mega damage. And then I've also got Mantis in here. She is a 7-star. Karate Mike has done a few videos of her very, very recently showing how powerful she really is. The sleep, she makes her a very annoying defender, especially in this new side event. I'm finding her very, very difficult to fight against. She does big damage. She can stun basically any champ. And, you know, we saw she is a little bit of a noodle. She does get smacked down a bit easier on the defensive side. But as an attacker, she's very, very good. Has a lot of unique sort of abilities with that Tranquilize, with the sleep. And then if you sort of charge your heavy attack and throw an SP2, you can do some mega crit damage. So she's another champ who I think could go up. Maybe a swap for Moondragon, dependent on what I think of Moondragon coming in the next month. And then finally, we're down at the tech champs. 2 changes, that is all. And then we're done. Shocker, recently pulled him as a 6-star from the featured. You would have seen that a couple days ago in a video. Very, very nice champ. Have ranked him up since then. Some big damage on his his heavy attacks. You know, you can do up to 200k damage if you get the right rotation with the vibro charges, or if you're fighting, say, a Kitty Pryde. Very, very good for Battlegrounds, and is someone who is just quite fun to play, in my opinion. The SP1s, being able to chuck lots of those. The SP2 being quite good at, you know, building up those vibro charges so that when you put the passive stun on, you can use them all for a massive heavy attack. I think is very, very interesting. And it's just a different way of playing a champ, similar in the sense to Gallon, as in not in the playstyle, but in that they do big damage for not a massive build-up needed. I think is very nice. And unfortunately, Stark Spidey was the one who needed to go down. Penny Parker there, who you can see, I'm pretty sure her name is spelled incorrectly, only needs the 1 N, is a champ who... It was between her and Stealth Spidey. I did unfortunately go for Stealth Spidey, just given how strong Penny Parker is on defense, one of the best defenders, even with so many counters. Stark Spidey just drops with some of the other champs in the class being such strong defenders, and just such strong champs in general. You know, we've got Ant-Man Future in there, a champ who has so many new unique abilities and utility, and is basically a very good counter for Gallon. In a sense, he can only take 10% of his damage at once. Shuri, with her recent buff, is a very, very good Everest content champ. And then we've got Infamous Iron Man and Guardian, who are 2 very, very nice champs. So that will do it for the tier list today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. I'm going to try and get the link in the description down below, as some people have asked. Please leave as many comments on this video as you can, of sort of changes that need to be made. Have I missed anyone out? Have you got any questions? And then yeah, that sort of will do it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're new around here. Please leave this video a like, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a good day. Goodbye.